What's up everyone? Alex here. Since the release of Life is Strange in 2015, the people over at Dontnod have demonstrated their ability to tell memorable stories by giving you interesting ways to control the narrative. And if you loved what they did in Life is Strange, then you'll absolutely love what they've done in Harmony: The Fall of Reverie. I got to preview the game for several days on PC and managed to play through the first 2 acts of the game multiple times and make different choices. And wow, do these choices matter so much more now. In Harmony: The Fall of Reverie, you play the role of a woman named Polly, who happens upon a mysterious necklace that takes her to a dreamlike world known as Reverie. There, you'll meet various aspirations, beings representative of humanity's fleeting emotions, that plead with you to save their world and yours by uncovering a mystery that binds their fate. With the power to move between worlds and see into the distant future, you'll have to use your best judgment and determine which paths will save both worlds. Unlike Life is Strange's fully 3D presentation, Harmony: The Fall of Reverie is presented in a visual novel style, complete with the requisite dialogue box down below, as well as talking heads representing the characters. It even comes with a handy flowchart that represents your progression through the game's story. But these are where its similarities with visual novels end. While the game's characters are represented in a hand-drawn style reminiscent of classic rotoscoped animated films, the backgrounds of Harmony: The Fall of Reverie are all 3D rendered to add depth to the environments. To reflect this, you'll occasionally see the background pan from one speaker to the next, placing more emphasis on each speaker that adds movement, which makes dialogue scenes feel more kinetic. What's more is that every piece of quote-unquote spoken dialogue in Harmony: The Fall of Reverie is voice acted, and these performances were a treat to experience.
They suck you in, don't they? Especially when the sea's calm and you can see them reflected down there.
Who are you? Another aspiration?
Exactly. I'm Bond. My siblings keep forgetting about me. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
But what truly separates the game from the rest is its extensive use of its flowchart, called the augural. Unlike a traditional visual novel flowchart, the augural features a multi-level representation of the game's story, as well as numerous elements that practically turn it into a board game of sorts.
Listen, you just need to see the augural as a board game. You've got your resources, your goals, your supporting characters. It's just a game.
Instead of making choices during dialogue sequences, you'll be making all of your choices on the augural itself by selecting a specific story node. You'll be able to hover around and read overviews of every story node in your current chapter, with a few exceptions, which help inform you of possible outcomes that you might want to work towards. And while choosing certain story nodes may lock you out of alternative choices, there are mechanics that actually transform certain sections into informational dialogue branches, similar to BioWare and Witcher titles. What further complicates the augural are the aforementioned aspirations, which have their own currencies that you can earn by making certain choices. For example, a choice that might focus on strengthening your relationship with another person might earn you bond points, whereas a choice that pushes you to learn the truth of something might earn you truth points. You'll need these currencies to unlock certain story nodes later, with some marked as objectives that help give more clarity to the events of the story. There are also certain paths that require 2 or more paths to converge to unlock, story nodes that unlock later story nodes by merely choosing them, as well as some that consume a certain number of aspirations. These complications and many more I haven't mentioned will make your journey through the augural a less than straightforward experience. And admittedly, it's kind of fun to try and see how I could achieve certain results by examining every story node and figuring out whether the outcome is worth striving for when compared to the types of choices I'll have to make along the way. What this also means is that while every chapter starts off with a decently lengthy prologue, Your journey through each chapter is punctuated by very short story node sequences of roughly 2 to 4 minutes each, disseminating the stated info, followed by more augural progression. And while this repeated dialogue augural gameplay loop might sound repetitive, in practice, the experience you'll have playing Harmony to Fall of Reverie will be equal parts addicting and fascinating. Admittedly, when I originally started the game, I haphazardly dismissed it as yet another visual novel. But as the augural kept adding more interesting new elements and considerations, as well as realizing how bite-sized each of the story nodes can be, I found that I was totally mistaken. And that's not even talking about the ensuing mystery, which really had me intrigued. That said, I've only played the first 2 acts of a potentially lengthy journey, and despite replaying through parts of it in an attempt to get different outcomes, there are countless other choices that have altered things beyond the chapters that's been available to me. And along with that comes potentially even more complications that continue to keep things interesting. This is all to say that I am extremely pleased and mesmerized by what I played here, and I can't wait for everyone to play this game when it finally comes out on June 8th on PC and Switch, and on June 22nd on PS5 and Series X and S. For now, a demo is available for download during Ludonarracon, which is shorter than what I played, but it should still represent what your experience will be like. That said, I want to know what you think of the game based on what you've seen. Are you a fan of Dontnod and their work in Life is Strange 1 and 2? Will you be checking out the demo? Post your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.